Alright guys, welcome back to Victoria 3. Let's go ahead and jump back into the America campaign here. So, this campaign started as an economics campaign. Or an economics tutorial. I think we, well, GDP do go up, so I think we're on the right track. What were we... Let me just remind myself where we left off. Yep, textiles. Yeah, textiles. Then I need to fix groceries after the paper fix. Paper's still expensive, right? No, it's not expensive. But I am boosting paper. Right. Before I forget. Yep. Boosting paper. So I can go up on government administration. Very cool. This will just be a negative cost. I don't think I could ever make this cost not cost money, because that's kind of the whole point of this. I'm just trying to... Here, because when I do this, the price is going to go from normal to really freaking expensive. I mean, I'm just gonna make the switch now because we are making some money. Go back up to normal taxes so that way we can continue making money. States in high turmoil, that's fine. Tension, whatever. Low market access, yeah, that sucks. Yep, now paper's expensive. Silk is not making money. This paper's expensive, now it's going to ATSI be... Yep, up here. So as we build those paper mills, that price will drop back down. Does ATSI give us some excess bureaucracy, which is making our construction efficiency go up. Very useful. A new quest. We're gonna go hunting, because I've never done hunting before, and seeing as how we don't have a baby yet on this expedition, might as well roll it. YOLO. Oh, GG on this expedition, which is fine. I mean, it's literally the start of the expedition, so we might as well YOLO it, as far as I'm concerned. Try to get some new events, try to get big progress early on, because it's not like we're actually losing anything. Oh, what the hell? Oh, that's so annoying. Well, it looks like we have another war with Mexico at some point, boys. We're just gonna press on. I mean, we're in grave danger anyway, so there's a chance that this is just gonna fail automatically, so we're just gonna kind of full send everything unless we can have a guaranteed reduced peril. We're gaining a ton of radicals. Why? Oh, being conquered by a foreign country. Makes sense. And standard of living decreases, yeah. So as we incorporate the people living in previous Mexican-owned areas, it's just kind of reduced. Bad. So we can do this. Uh oh. Well, that might have just failed it then. I did hit the reduce peril thing, so hey. That's on the expedition if it failed there, because I did hit reduce peril. Gold fields depleted. We're just gonna hit unfortunate. Go to Colorado here. Does mean that gold mines can be built here, which we're just going to bump that up to the top of the queue real quick. Finish off the already being constructed textile mills. Might as well hit the gold mines up to the top. That'll just increase our minting revenue, which is just free money. Unfortunate. Yep, so now we can build gold mines here as well. And what we're going to do is just cycle everything backwards. The gold mines are good, because it's going to increase our minting by a ton, but it's also going to give, currently in these areas, there's actually people here. There's practically there's practically no jobs. Well, not practically, there is. So everybody's just kind of working in subsistence farming, if they're not in like the gold fields, which are making a crap load of money, as you can see. So going towards actual gold mines is going to be a lot better for us. mines, yeah, are rural. So on our gold mines, you can see here we're going to make a lot more minting if we go up. And it's going to, though, use a lot more machinists and that kind of stuff. So we're still in grave danger. So we're going to try to find a settlement. Nope, failed expedition, that's fine. Immediately journal. Launch. No person in the job. We'll go Zachary Taylor again. Cool. The state of uprising is going to happen. It's whatever. Here, diplomatic state plays, Congress states Mexico. We have a truce into the start of 1850. So, sadly, those annoying things. I assume that's because they were technically colonizing these. And so they colonized these after the war from the remaining Indians, so that it's just annoying. We're still infamous, so hopefully in 5 years this goes down to 0, and what we're going to do is conquer this back from them and puppet Mexico at that point. This was going to fire, so we can see our infamy is 27.3, 35.6. So yeah, yeah, it kind of sucks having these native uprisings happen. It's kind of annoying. Slavery debate will be finished soon. Still enjoying our high state construction speed, and this war will be over instantaneously. They have no chance against American regulars, quite frankly put. Gold mines are going up. The Colorado one should be online first, yep, and the California ones. This is just cheap free money. That's why I'm doing this first. I mean, it's just guaranteed money from minting. Unproductive trade routes from the British. Very good. Sorry for not talking a lot. We're kind of just just got lost in my thoughts. So, transportation's expensive, so that sucks. Let's see what's causing the problem still. Grain is still a big problem. Cloves, liquor, mainly groceries. If I fix grain, cloves, and groceries, we're gonna be in a good spot. We can get more declared interest here. Let's see here. I just want to check one thing. Can we build coffee? No, overseas. Okay, so what we're going to do is I want to declare my interest here in the Congo and establish some colonies here in the Congo, really. Trade unions are now influential. That war's done. So we can now go to government and check them out. Yep, so they're now influential. They're sighted. Better be safe. sucks. Mount sighted. Can't spare the target. There we go. Begin colonizing this entire area here. Get some coffee in here. Let's get a port up on all of these. And bananas produce fruit. Just go coffee here as well. And we'll just go tea here. We can see here, yep, our gold mines are starting to fill out. Tons of people are flooding into the gold mines. So we can go to the atmospheric engine pump because there's not enough qualifications for the condensing engine pump. That's what I really wanted to check. So we'll go ahead and stage it up. Increase our minting there. Yep. Coal tools straight into gold, which of course is making us a ton of money for minting. Gold rush. Spread the word. Go to Arizona. And it can't be all that hard. 5 gold fields. Wow. It's gonna be a lot of mines. Yeah, discovered plant species. But what are we, gardeners? Don't really care about temporary prestige. Unproductive trade routes. Go ahead and cancel them up. Italian Reserve. These regions are isolated, but I have the ports queued. We just basically need to wait, get through this construction queue. We're still making money. We plan on building in these 2 states out here quite a bit. So we'll go ahead and queue up some more construction sectors. We're very much making money still as we're producing. So I want to increase our producing overall. Swollen River. We're gonna better be safe. Colorado, unable to fully hire. We don't have enough mechanists. Right. So if we go down to picks and shovels, we're suddenly going to actually be able to hire everybody. Yeah, so not enough qualifications. So for the gold mines, we're just going to keep it on this. Our guide does know better. So we don't have enough aristocrats here, but that'll slowly fix itself as we make more money in the gold mine here. And this will tick up over time. This is just a limit of how many people are physically living here. But it's really bad living here at the moment. We also need to build a railway here. Really sooner rather than later. And we really should build 2 ports and a railway here in California. Keep making more money from our minting. We can see American luxury furniture went down, price for ammunition went up, price for iron went up, and 2 more significant. Transportation got more expensive a little bit, and tools went up a little bit. Yep, tools and iron went up because of this. We're building more, so we need more. Turmoil, we don't care. Tensions, we don't care about. All of those are on the construction queue to be fixed. And to get more wood from the French, we need more convoys, which technically is being fixed. Miracle of Life, we're going to take care of that baby. Cloves can be import from the French. Perfect. We're going to import from the French. Coal. Austrians might as well. Groceries. I'm good. We'll just keep our state construction bonus here with this excess bureaucracy. Currently researching our mutual funds. Circular, we'll wait for night. We should be able to pretty much fix this immediately as soon as we get this mutual funds here. Because we do have the laissez-faire economics, which is plus 50% capitalist investment pool contribution. This will be epic victory. We're just gonna let them celebrate a little bit. No need to shove the minimum expected cap up too high when we can't actually fulfill it. Our lower class is suffering more than most, which is really bad. 8.5, 4.4, 10.2. It's because they really need these cloves now at this point. It's the cloves, the grain is hurting a bit, and then groceries. Groceries are a big hit. Transportation, not so much. It's basically everything on this list from like this way up because of the percentage of expenditures. The grain isn't too crazy of a price, but because it counts for nearly a fourth of their entire expenditures, it being expensive at all is kind of just criminal. We have to bring this boy to justice. Ain't good. Yep, California is just going to have lack of people working here problems, really. We're just going to downsize that logging camp. We don't care about it in California. It's a waste. But as people migrate here, as people move to California, they will be able to find work extremely easily. Very good. Sadly, we didn't get the Manifest Destiny Frontier Wars because of this annoying piece of garbage here. Luxury furniture went up, ammunition went up, transportation went down. Yep, need those convoys. But right now, we really just need these all to finish, is the next important part. Very much the hardest part of playing this game is to just accept the fact that you're going to have problems in the short term, and to just simply sit back and let your construction queue build what you know you need it to be building. Gold mines, we're at half employment, so that sucks. We're still making good money though here out of the gold mine. Good minting. We're going to try to find a settlement because we have that baby. We can get this, which is reduce the peril and gain minor progress. Extremely good. Here it says will fail if the expedition reaches a peril of 8 or above, so I assume this is just a general indicator, and there's an actual like sliding score behind it, so I do try to take reducing peril whenever I can, because progress, you do get progress over time, not just from events. Like, right there, speak of the devil. So really just slow and steady really does win the race on the frontiers. high tensions, yeah, it's inevitable. But now all the high tensions are happening down here. There's our trinage. If we go to here. This way we should be able to change all of these at once. You can see here switching because we don't have enough opium is really just going to toast us. So when we go to war, or if we go to war really, against, we might switch over. I think the Queen banned opium, so that was like our one place to really get a ton. So here's the thing, right? We shall stop and rest, because we already built a fort in a previous expedition, we reduced the peril, and gained minor progress. Enacting my migration controls. Oof. If the support for this continues to go up, we'll enact this, because all it's going to do is disallow discriminated pops from migrating, but seeing as how we are multiculturalism, we don't have discriminated pops anymore. So really passing this doesn't matter to us. It doesn't actually change anything. Which is good, because the vast part of our industry is going to come from people migrating to the United States, just like it was in real life. We need migrants. We need people. Especially in the early game, we struggle. Other than some few select places like Ohio, there's our baking powder, like Ohio, New York, Pennsylvania to an extent, Maryland, some Virginia places, Kentucky is really good, Florida ain't bad. Our population is just so little, and getting those really specialist workers are kind of hard. So we're gonna get a ton more groceries here by going to canneries, worth it. This gives us less groceries but way more liquor, which we do need. So we're going to go to patent stills, and of course the baking powder. Less grain, less sugar, but a ton more groceries. So there we go. Boom. So now, this should have readjusted. We need a ton more trains. And we can see here, groceries. Minus, oh, this list is wrong. Groceries are now cheaper than normal. Liquor is now actually down there. So what do we need? We need grain. Grain is the next big thing. We have got to get grain to being cheaper than average. It's just a necessity. So maize. This is just less grain. But we still want our wine in the existing ones. We could go more tools, less laborers, but that's just going to exacerbate another problem. Not enough peasants, really, in any of these. We built one in Delaware, one in Alabama, Virginia, Mississippi, Georgia, Maryland. There we go. Just a little bit of maize. Just one in everywhere to where I know there's at least going to be the qualifications able to work there. And we'll keep it like that. We really just want to pump that price down. Cloves are still really expensive, and we're reaching the end of our cloves making. So, quite frankly, what that means is we need to make more cloves and bump it to the front of the queue. There we go, that's going to 15. New York is where the other cloves plant was, right? Yep, it's at 20. But not enough qualifications here, of course. So we're gonna go up to max there. Florida. Textile mill, we're just gonna take it to 10. And we just shove all of these to the front of the queue. It really feels bad to do this, but quite frankly put, cloves are just too expensive still to not be producing more of them. It's just too expensive for the American people. It's a big part of what is really hampering our price here. But we can see now it's dropping because we fixed our groceries. Groceries are no longer a big problem. But as we make these cheaper, the expenditure percentage of other things that are more expensive that they buy goes up. Cloves. So as we fixed our groceries problem, cloves, see here, groceries, they're spending a lot less on groceries. That's because they're cheap now. So it just exacerbates the cloves problem. They lose interest. Support for this is kind of stagnated. So we can see here political movements only over, okay, there we go, a lot more starting to join. If it really becomes a big problem, I'll cancel, but for now, I'll go in on it, but really don't feel like it at the moment. Iron is becoming a bigger and bigger problem. Let's try to import some from the French and the Brazilians. Let's see if we can't mature those trade routes. Investment pool, still making good money here. Sort of good. We need a government administration to be up to get filing cabinets. So that'll be New York, and we'll just go ahead and queue that. Getting more progress, so hopefully this expedition ends. We're just going to declare neutrality there, I don't care. And we just need performance. There we go, mutual funds, maybe. Production, what's chem bleaching get us? Paper bleaching for our paper mills. That could be a big fix for us, so we'll go ahead and go. So the next thing we need to do is we need to individually do this. See here, substitution, we're losing a lot. We're gonna do it. Just means that in these places we just don't have enough capitalists. Ohio will be our test ground. Yeah, not enough capitalists in the glassworks. But that's fine. Cross-border investment. Yeah, or strong-arm them. Strong-arm them. I don't want to do that because the industrialists will be pissed, so we'll just let them have that. Yeah, a ton of losses there. It's just way too many people. Just, at the moment, not enough capitalists, so... Oh, murder at large is completed. Got the bastard. We're gonna take the migration attraction to Wisconsin. because quite frankly put, it's just too good. And here, on that note, since we have migration attraction, we'll build our iron mines up. Still ever increasingly closing in on February of 50 to go in. American South Cameroon. Cool, that's fine. Oh, American market thing went away. Sad. Yeah, just need convoys. A lot of convoys. Might as well build a couple of those. As we can see here, we can already see it. The choppiness is abound. And now groceries are expensive again. F. Yeah, we're producing them for cheap. There we go. Wonderful news. Boom. Tasty prestige. Go Congo River expedition. Yeah. The reason I'm doing this is because I can't even complete this expedition and actually get the Oregon border dispute if I don't own all of Wyoming, which is basically soft locked now with me going to war with Mexico. So I might as well do this expedition before somebody else gets to it before me. Like the Portuguese. Britain at war over here. But yeah, from the Congo, really what we're just kind of wanting here is these coffee plantations. We don't really produce this at all in the United States, so it's good. Same with dyes. We don't really do that in the United States. Tea, we don't produce in the United States, so it's just those luxury goods. Cool. Add to journal. So it looks like this is exactly the same as the American Western frontier. So we'll just go slow and steady, wins the race here. We are now losing money, so it's time to pause all of our construction. We're not actually gaining a crap ton of money. The reason is because we're not actually gaining the full 60K that we were spending, because a lot of money was coming from investment pool. Investment pool, here 30K of it, was buffering our production. So that's good. Socialist Party of America. Trade unions. Yeah, it makes sense. Seeing as how we have no progress, this probably is the better option. We can see here in assets, we have principal here, so we are losing money to interest. Not a lot, but I'd rather just never be losing money to interest. It just seems like a bad idea. Debt financing is definitely just not the play in Vic. We have an election coming up. Socialist Party of America, Democratic Party, big parties just on the out. Seeing as how they're not even giving us their primary bonus, I might just toss them. The Petite Bourgeoisie switched parties from the Democrats to the Free Trade Party, so we'll see how the election goes. Crocodiles, fight for your life, and moment of silence. Oof. We can form an alliance with Brazil. So we will. And we'll engage in a defensive pact, so that way we don't hurt each other. Making our money back. Our supplies run low. Wait for more to arrive, and the election never ticks forward. Chemical bleaching, cool. Let's go to something in society probably here. Organized sports, we can finish really quick. Some free prestige. Identification documents would be really good. This wouldn't be the worst. We'll get nitro so that way we can get dynamite at some point. We'll see how this is affected by the election, and we'll choose then to either support or not support a lot. Support or not support it. We're getting a lot of radicals from political movement demands, so if there's still a ton of them wanting this after the election and the government switching, then we'll do it because, quite frankly, but it doesn't actually affect anything. Investment pool continues to grow. Supplies run low. Gonna wait for more to arrive. Infamy becoming reputable again. That unproductive. Sadly, wood from the French is now unproductive. It's annoying. And political movement has disbanded. The industrialists are no longer powerful. So the Socialists won by a large margin here. The Democratic Party, also Free Trade Party and Whig Party. So really just need to reform. Free Trade Party. Yeah. This is pretty much where we're sitting at. Free trade. And trade unions. And we're bolstering the industrialist at the moment. Wanting to enact censorship, screw you. Yeah, excellent initiative from the Hudson Bay Company. It just makes them like us a lot at this point. They even accept a defensive pact. Support here, it's mainly from clout, not a lot of population, so they can go screw themselves. clothing, still a problem. Trains, engines, those are becoming more and more of a problem. We need to throw those to the top. Not enough qualifications for these railroads, but it's the only place that actually makes sense building them. Making money again, so let's just resume construction. Crocodiles, fight for your life. Moment of silence, great. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be going back to the Congo, quite frankly, but by any means, I do think we will be on the American frontier. Braxton Terrell. Going pretty good. We'll probably end this episode off with the war with Mexico. Probably is a pretty concise place to end it, with taking these territories back, completing the Manifest Destiny Frontier Wars, and then the puppeting of Mexico. Puppeting in Mexico is going to give us a ton of infamy, but it's going to give us a lot of cash, so I don't care. What is this garbage? We're just gonna stop and wait for more to arrive then. Iron's expensive. Ugh. Iron is expensive. Where are clothes? Are clothes finally not expensive? Nope. Explorer's life for me. I just needed a break. Yeah, slow and steady kind of went out the window, I'll be honest. We still have a lot in the investment pool to burn through. We're getting... You can see here, weekly change minus 36. So we'll be at minus 11k. We could fix that with high taxes. We could fix that with low government wages. I think that's the play. So we should still be gaining money. Should still be gaining money from construction, even once the investment pool runs dry, which is kind of where we need to be at because we have so many things we need to drastically fix, and our queue is completely full of things we desperately need, which is bad. Groceries are just, again, just getting higher and higher. Ugh. We have groceries already in places, right? Yeah. So we're going to take our groceries and put them to the front of the queue because we can't afford that. It's quite frankly put. Yeah, such a large part of this is because of groceries and clothes. So we have to continue to fix that at all cost. Support from POPs on enacting censorship is still low. Our legitimacy is going up. Cool. Laws. Free trade. Definitely is just a bad idea. Yeah, let's go with theocracy, boys, and fucking. Total separation is good. National militia is fine. We could go professional army, but there's really no point. Health system. Go private. I think, yeah. Nobody is against private health insurance, but industrialists like it. And people in trade unions and evangelicals hate just not having one in general, so this will just be all good for us. Reduced apparel. And water bead partners. Declare neutrality in this, whatever. The only thing that is kind of annoying is this and how these like collide into each other, and it feels like I'm digging under the tabs to get to what I want. I feel like a lot of that comes from these two things, like these stacking, so they disbanded. I feel like maybe these should have been moved here. Maybe like what they're demanding here and what you're trying to enact here would have been kind of cool, instead of filling this. And these pop-ups, when they pop up big like this, they should always pop up closed as far as I'm concerned. I don't know if there's something or some way in the settings you can fix that. I mean, let me take a quick peek. So that'd be game. Not tooltip, not map controls. Show nudity. Okay. I guess we'll turn that off so that way I don't get pooped on by YouTube. But yeah, there's nothing in here for changing pop-up settings, so I assume that's just kind of hosed on that. But like this. Wood slightly more expensive. It's not that much of a problem here, but come on. Try to be safe, that's a damn shame. It's just annoying. My investment pool is now gone, but we're still making money. We have to do low wages, but the intelligentsia isn't even in power anymore, so I don't really care. I'll play no work. Who are you? You're a planter? Fuck you. Hey, I mean, hate to be that guy, but quite frankly put, yikes, 1917 reserve in the Congo? Wow. Got it. I mean, I assume these are all not regulars, but like, geez, come on. And we are expanding like crazy in the Congo, though. Almost, yikes, almost 1 million people here in South Cameroon. It's really good, actually. Still not enough qualifications, apparently, to work in a coffee plant, so whatever. Groceries are being built. Hopefully that means the grocery prices are falling. They are. Very good, but as that happens, wheat prices will continue to grow. Clothes still need to be fixed. Glass is ever becoming a problem. Steel is a problem. Coal is a problem. Coal is honestly a huge problem because everything relies on coal to run at this point. We need to pause so I don't crash the game while I do this. One in New Mexico, Iowa, Montana, Wyoming, South Dakota. Basically, if they're gonna make money and they have the qualifications, screw it. Might as well give them a coal mine. Cool. Cool, not coal. And then we just do the mass reshuffle. Shove everything down. Just go ahead and cancel those papers. Still need the dye, still need that, still need all of this. Desperately need the maize. Need that for a quest. Still need, I'll just leave some of that iron at the top there. We still need the ports for the convoys and coal. Got it. Okay, whatever. Swollen River. We'll better be safe here. And we'll close that down. Glass is more expensive, groceries are cheaper, liquor's cheaper. Yep, because our groceries also produce liquor. Could go leaded glass, but we don't have we have an import shortage of that. Craftsman soon would screw us. Yeah. Pretty much just sitting here. It is 50 now, so we can now diplomatic play. can't return state. We can't conquer state. God, it's so annoying. Mexican Kansas. Confirm. And we don't mobilize anybody. And we also add war goal for conquer state. For Mexican Oklahoma. We also add a war goal to conquer state for Mexican Wyoming. Add a war goal to make a puppet. That's going to cause a ass load of infamy. That's definitely not on the list now. The Mexicans have added their own war goals. They are fearful because Brazil is coming in. So, yeah. And we could make El Salvador a puppet. So we're going to do that because it costs like no infamy. Might as well. We shall stop and rest. Easy. So we're at medium peril again, so we still need to be reducing. Don't know why it does that. No front option for you. Oh, you're busy. Both southern planters, I cringe. Mountain combat expert then. And then we'll activate conscripts from Alabama. And Brazilians will take the Mexican front temporarily. Injured farmers. Well, we could just basically guarantee its enactment. We'll take the 40% though. 70%, 7% morality is just a bit much. We can gain some progress, perfect. Hopefully the Mexicans don't back down, because that would be really bad. Because then we're only going to get literally a schmeckle of territory and I'll be pissed. It's looking good so far. Countdown to war. Could on paper sway the Hudson Bay Company, but they are a puppet of the United Kingdom, so it's not like they're going to come in. Mechanized workshops. We're researching nitroglycerin, and of course they back down. Dynamite. Well, I guess now we'll end the episode on this or not. So how long do I have to wait because they backed down? Another 5 years. Great. Yeah, I guess better. So we'll end now on this passing or supporting, because I cringe. Jeez, the cloud's jumping. The industrialists continue to get more clout, which is pretty much the main party we care about. If the trade unions become powerful, that's fine, because they kind of stand for most of what we want. They oppose free trade, which we don't want free trade. They do oppose private health insurance, but they also oppose no health insurance, so this kind of works. Eventually, public health insurance is probably what we want to go to. Vermont, low market access is really bad. So we're going to build train railway. Build a railway. Might as well. Because transportation is still expensive. So, hey. We are the number 3 producer overall of transportation in the world. So that's good. As we can see here. Are we a significant producer of anything else? We're 5th over wide. We're 2nd over wide on glass. And it's still expensive. I mean, are we a significant producer of cloves? Man, we're only 7th overall. It's weird. I mean, that's probably why we're struggling so much with cloves. Can we import? No. Jeez. Cloves is just a big problem, I guess. Unproductive trade route. Yeah, the coal from the French market is to be expected. Actually, it's not, because our coal things haven't even gone through. Can we buy glass? No. Yikes. That's sad. Everyone's glass is more expensive than our 42% above average glass. We're gonna wait for nightfall. The expedition is in peril because, I don't know, it's like closed the thing, so really gotta hope for a good event here soon. This is definitely my least favorite part of playing the United States, is this and annoying crap like this. Yeah, good joke. I'm not paying 24k for 8 years. Celebs, you're on your own. I mean, Celebs is a huge state now. There's just not a lot of people living here. Like, at all. But I can't build good stuff, so we are just gonna incorporate it over time. Wait for nightfall. Grassroots supports for the law. More interest group attraction for the industrialist, so that's all good. Can now incorporate Texas. Hearing state actions for incorporating states. Incorporate Florida. Really, all of these main ones. Colorado and California are where our gold mines are, so we'll incorporate them. Celebs is now isolated because there's a shortage of clippers. But that shouldn't be happening because we have a mass ton of clippers. We can export, though, clippers and then hope to produce more clippers. That is another thing we need to do. We actually need to flip this and start trying to export to markets we have. So, like, the Brazilians. People we have these trade routes with, so where's the French? French aren't really interested, so tobacco here. New export route. Brazilian market, French market. Clippers, export, Brazilian market. Cool. Liquor, Brazilian market. Fruit, Brazilian market. Meat, Brazilian market. Wood, French market. Luxury clothes, question mark? Anywhere else? I mean, the British, technically. Yeah, might as well send it to the British, see if that can't mature a bit. So we started a bunch of export routes for a lot of our cheaper goods, which is a way to make our industries more profitable. Export what's cheap in our market, import what's expensive. We are now losing authority. Failed expedition is what's set us over the cap here. But the popularity of our current president is not helping. Annoying. We're just gonna have to probably deal with it. New quest. Fuck me, okay. Well, that's annoying. So, on that horrendous failure, that is going to be where we leave it off. We've increased our GDP by quite a bit more in the United States here. This is now becoming an exponentially large problem, so we're going to have to stop bolstering the industrialist. We'll go ahead and, I guess, already queue another American Frontier expedition. You can take an admiral, because I want my generals, please. He's gonna retire because he's controlling literally no men, so screw you. North Carolina. Railway. Yeah, I think this is where we're gonna end off. We're gonna try to get the Mexicans to give us back these 2 states. I beg. I beg so bad. But, yeah. That's where we're gonna end it off on this episode of Victoria 3, United States. It's definitely kind of slow, but hey, what can you do? Please like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help with the channel. And I will see you guys all in the next episode.